الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We were discussing Salatul Jama'ah last night briefly. It seems that we have to remind every time that we are not supposed to join Jama'ah after ruku'. That as long as Imam is in ruku', you may join, but after that we are not supposed to join. And it seems that it has still not sunk into the minds of many that they come and join while Imam is just lifting his head from ruku'. Or they think they would rather like or believe that they have joined while Imam is in ruku', although it is not so. So one has got to be careful in namaz that when you join, either Imam is standing or is still in ruku', and while you will join, and you will also at least join him in ruku', then and then only your salat will be valid, otherwise it will not be valid. I repeat this only because I don't see what is happening behind if I am leading. But the reports still come in that people are still not yet very clear about it. So please, the most important aspect in religion is Amr bil Ma'roof and Nahy anil Munkar. That it is not for me or for anyone who sits on mimbar alone to say this, but for those who see, to tell their friends when they make a mistake, to draw their attention. Because if we don't do this, we are failing in our duty. It is wajib, it is fard, it is obligatory upon all of us to guide the others. And those who are guided may not feel insulted or offended, because this is the matter of Sharia and one should accept it gracefully, and I hope it will be done. Today I wanted to discuss something which is very common with us, and that is adhan and iqamah. But I will only touch with adhan. Adhan is mustahab, it's not wajib, before every salat. And it is a very honorable position. We normally believe that it is for children to give adhan, but it is not so. It's a very honorable thing if we are told to give adhan and we stand up and give adhan. Maybe one day we will forget because we are not used to it, we will learn. And every one of us knows it by heart, but when it comes to standing before the mic or before the people do forget. But that is nothing to be afraid of. But what we must know is that it must be rendered clearly and correctly. Because when you say Allahu Akbar, if it is on the mic, and if the mic is kept in such a manner that the whole city or the town or the village is listening to us, then it must be correct, otherwise they will feel and the listeners will know that the man who is giving adhan does not know. Most of us say Allahu Akbar. It is not Wakbar. It is Akbar. And therefore when we say adhan, it should be Allahu Akbar and not Allahu Akbar. And this does not apply to adhan alone. It applies also to salat, because there is takbiratul ihram here. And takbiratul ihram is the first takbir with which our namaz begins, and it is wajib rukni. Without that, whether one forgetfully omits or purposely omits that takbir, his salat is gone. And therefore, it is very important that we know that we say Allahu Akbar. And it is not Allahu Akbar, it is Allahu Akbar. That bay is not elongated. One thing. Second thing is this, that while giving azan, although the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam very much encouraged that the voice should be as loud as possible, that the voice be good in a sense that people are attracted, because this is a call to the prayers. But it must not be musical. Because when we start with Allahu Akbar and that Allah does not end, Allah, it goes on. And even in the rendering which has been permitted by the ulama of tajweed, any alif, when elongated by madda, cannot go more than 4 stages. That means equal to 4 alif, not more than 4. So if at all it has got a madda on it, which Allahu Akbar does not have, then it will be Allah, that's all. But it can't go on till listeners feel that they can't breathe. You see, it has got no meaning whatsoever. And therefore, the voice can be melodious, but it doesn't have to be musical. And if it is loud, so much the better. And it is alif, Allahu Akbar. And I sometimes am surprised to listen to Allahu Akbar. It is not ayn, it is alif, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah is hey from here, ashhadu. And it is not ha, which is ashhadu. The meaning changes. It is ashhadu, the big hey. Common hey, let us say the common H which we use in English. Ashhadu an la ilaha. And when we come to ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the name of the Prophet has got hay, and therefore it is Muhammad and not Muhammad. I mean, in our language we can say Muhammad, Mamdu, or whatever we want to say, Muhammad. But actually when it is in our language, it is something else, because we write also, there is no hay in Gujarati or in English or whatever. But in Arabic there is a hay, and therefore it is ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasul. See, when we try to be we try to be more Arabs than the Arabs themselves, then this is the problem. It has got to be Muhammad. And I hope that someday we will write somewhere that people may be able to recognize alif from ayn and hay from hay, so that they read exactly as they recite exactly as they read. Now, this is just to say a few. There are other fasls also in adhan which we will tackle next when we meet again, inshallah ta'ala. But it is important that alif is placed in alif and hay is placed in hay. And if it is not done properly, the meanings change, and it is very simple, it's not difficult to learn. Allah inshallah will guide us, and we will be able to render adhan correctly. The masail of adhan are still there, which we will tackle day after tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, because tomorrow is the night of Wafat and Laylatul Dharba, and we will be discussing other things. I said that we will start with Surah Yusuf. And the most distinctive feature of this in Quran is that if you look at Bible, Old Testament, in the chapter of Genesis, where the story of Hazrat Yusuf is given under the name of Joseph, you'll find that Hazrat Yusuf or Joseph is portrayed as a selfish, tyrannical, unjust king who amassed wealth for his own self and did not care for others. And when the Jews came to the Prophet and said, tell us how it happened that the descendants of Yaqub migrated from Damascus to Egypt, and our Prophet knew what they portrayed Yusuf as. This whole surah is in exact and direct contrast with the way Yusuf has been portrayed in Old Testament. And here there is a very important answer to the Christians who normally say that Quran has copied the Bible. Because whatever is there in Bible, Quran has copied. The copy means you copy word for word, or at least idea for idea. But when the same subject is tackled diametrically opposed to what they have said and what they believe, then we have to consider that there is some originality in Quran, where Allah in His mercy has tried to correct the mistakes which people have brought into Bible by interpolations, by introducing things which Allah did not say. So Allah begins this way: إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت أحد عشر كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. This is how the whole story begins. And recall when Yusuf told his father, "O father, I have dreamt that 11 stars together with the sun and the moon bow down before me in humility." This is the dream which Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam related to his father. Remember that we acknowledge dream, and dreams are of two types. Dreams which are called malakuti, that means dreams which are rahmani, dreams which have a message, dreams of premonition, dreams of warning, dreams of presaging, that means telling you what will happen next. If you all remember, Simon Freud has written the whole book on dreams. We are not discussing that aspect, where he has written as to how many types of dreams men dream and why. We are not discussing why, because if a father has promised his son a cycle and does not give it to him, and then he dreams that he is already cycling. It happens to all of us. True. This is called the dream of wishful thinking. And if a boy is going to sit for exam, or a girl, he or she will dream that she has already passed. These are all dreams, and there are types and types of dreams which Simon Freud has written in his book, The Dreams. We have discussed this with the ulama, and the ulama have divided this into very simple two categories. One is Rahmani and one is Shaitani. The dream which have absolutely no meaning, desultory dream. At night you dream that you have got wings and you are flying, that you are in a beautiful Rolls Royce, that suddenly you have got a windfall of cash, or even you start fighting, and suddenly sometimes you even shout, the thief has come to catch you, and there is no one, it's only your pillow which is on your neck. So things can happen which may not be of any use whatsoever. These are called shaitani. Sometimes we have certain types of food we eat. We have tummy full at night, and then we go to sleep. Naturally, the vapor that rises inside and the gas will create all sorts of problems. And you will dream. Then you will come to Mullah Sahib and say, I have dreamt. Well, if the Mullah is going to listen to the dreams alone, according to my experience, if I were to pay heed to the dreams, I will have no other work to do. Everyone comes with a dream. Some of them meaningless, just desultory. But sometimes there is a dream which gives you a premonition, that is a warning in advance. And it happens. It presages. Or it gives you a hint into something which is forgotten. Or even the arwah, that means those souls of the dead, will come and tell you that this is something that we need and you haven't done. A son or a daughter might dream, mother or father coming to say that I owe so much money to so and so, I forgot to say. Please pay it up. These are the dreams. I have left my salat, qada. Please do it on my behalf. I haven't been to Hajj when it was wajib for me. Kindly do it for me. Our ulama have written books and books. And those of you who are lucky may even dream to see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or the A'immah sallallahu alayhim ajma'in, because when the Prophet said, "Man ra'ani faqad ra'ani," whoever sees me in the dream has actually seen me. He hasn't seen a ghost. So when you see him, if you are lucky, and most of you could be mu'mineen, ladies and gents, you saw the Prophet, or you saw the Imam, or you saw any Nabi, you are lucky. These are the true dreams. And sometimes there is a dream of basharat, that is giving you good news. That is the type of dream that Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam has dreamt, that inni ra'aytu ahada ashara kawkaban wash-shamsa wal-qamara ra'aytuhum li sajidin. I saw them portraying before me themselves in all humility. This sajda itself here does not mean sajda the way we do. It means being humble, prostrating, bowing down before me. Immediately as he said this, as he told his father this, قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين. Oh my small one. In Arabic language, any noun which is converted to the fu'ail, that means on that wazn, which is converted, it means small. Like sa'atun means a watch or a clock. Suway'ah means a small clock. Asa means a walking stick. Usayya means small. Ibnun is a son. Bunayya is a small. And when you say that, when the father calls his son Bunayya, by making it small, in our language, Gujarati also, I don't know whether I should say this or not, because I don't want this to get current. But in our elden days, our father used to say, "Hey, Babu, anyao." Or a young girl is called, "Hey, baby, anyao." But she grows older, becomes baby only. And Babu only. We don't want that. You see, Bachu. So we have those things. You see, these are the words which denote affection towards the young one. And Bunayya, Mulla Muhsin Faiz Kashani in Tafsir Safi says that the very fact that Yaqub said, "Ya Bunayya," oh my young one, denotes that he loved him most and that Yusuf was very young. Both of them, that he was very young. And this Bunayya itself, the word used, Ya Bunayya, oh my young one, do not relate this dream to your brothers. They will hatch a plot against you, because Shaitan is an open enemy of man. Well, what would happen? The principal thing involved here is hasad, envy and jealousy. It is a disease which can bring brothers against brothers. Yusuf's brothers, father is warning his son that if you will relate this to your brothers, they will hatch a plot against you, because Shaitan is the open enemy of mankind. That means they will be envious and they will be jealous, because there is something extraordinary here. What was it? Yusuf alayhi salam was extraordinarily handsome. There was a physical beauty His features were excellent, good. Of all the children Yaqub had, his mother was also different. His mother was different. The mother of other brothers was a different lady. The name given of Yusuf's mother is Rahil. That was the name. Now, he was born of a different mother, that is one thing. Second thing, that he was extraordinarily beautiful and handsome too. Third thing, he was the father's favorite child. And the envious brothers could not tolerate this. Now, if he said that I have dreamt that the 11 stars and even the sun and the moon prostrate before me, this would add fuel to the fire. Because they will now start talking among themselves, okay, this young man who has already won the favor of our child is now trying to impress our father that he is extraordinary, that he has dreamt to dream that sun and moons prostrate before you. So there will be a problem. Quran is teaching us here, and this is a story which has got a moral in this. This is the lesson in it, that when people start being jealous of each other and envious for the ni'mat that you have, I try to burn myself. Why should you have that? Then remember that it can start a new discord, it can start factions, it can start unnecessary quarrels, it can start anything, even in the family, even among the brothers. Mulla Ali alayhi salam says, that the only bad quality in mankind, where a person who does it or practices it himself is affected worst, is hasad. You find him getting thinner and thinner, doesn't eat, does not see any happiness anywhere. Ask him what is happening. Uske paas bahut ho gaya. God has given him too much. Now, human qualities are different. We envy each other for what? Sometimes the excellence that Allah has given you becomes a bala for you. Ay roshani taba tu barman bala shudi. Sometimes, if you have good quality in you, you find that it is working against you. You have wealth, Allah has given you. You find people uneasy. You have health, a good physique, problem. Beauty and handsomeness, again problem. Husn and Jamal. You can have good quality of knowledge, for example, ilm, people are in problem with you. People have respect for you, you become a respectable person, people have problem again. Why? Influence, problem. So you find that people cannot assimilate this problem, and when they start practicing this envy, then they fall into so many problems. One, immediately as hasad enters into my mind, I start ghibat, I start tuhmat, and it can also lead me to killing someone because I just cannot match. Now here I must make it very clear that if my son came to me and said that Mr. Kanji's son or Manik's son in my school has passed in first division and I should like to pass in first division also, that is not hasad. What I will tell him is that, right, they both have deserved. You work hard and inshallah you will pass. The boy has read dua just now, dua wasila, and if younger one comes to me and says, I would like to read the way Suhail reads, because he reads very well, that doesn't mean that he is hasid. I will have to tell him, work hard, learn the way he reads, and inshallah you will also read, or perhaps even better. That is not hasad. Hasad is something else. Mulla Hussain Kashifi was one of the ulama who wrote a book. He said that when Fir'aun said that he was God. Fir'aun said he was Allah. He was God. One day the water, that sector of Nile which he governed, because of scarcity of rain, that part of Nile dried up. So the people came to him and said, if you are God, and you are, we believe in you, we would like to have water again flowing. Now he knew that this he could not do. So he went into his private chamber and went into sajda and said, Ya Allah, you know my limitations and you know my sin. I promise you I will not do it again. But at the moment, for the sake of my integrity, allow the water to flow. Save my face. And the water started flowing. He came out and he forgot what he had told Allah. And he said, do you see? That is my power. Over. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not take that revenge. I always told you, he is not a teacher who is sitting with a rod in his hand to hit you immediately. No. Imam alayhi salam says, people are in a haste to take revenge because they fear that the enemy might run away. But in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's case, there is no question of running away. La yumkinul firaru min hukumatik. Therefore he gives time. After 2-3 years, again the water dried up. Now, people came and said, we have a precedent. You did it last time. You can do it again. Do it. No. He went back into his private chamber. This time he shed some tears also. He said, Ya Allah, you know my limitations and you also know my weakness. I will not do it again, I promise. Tawbah. I promise I will not do it again. And the water started flowing again. Again he came out and he forgot. It is typical of my life as I see it myself. I don't know about you. How many times I have said, Ya Allah, I will not do it. And then he forgives me. And he releases me of this problem. I come out and I forget. And I do it the same thing. When it happened for the third time, as he was in his private chamber supplicating and praying, somebody knocked the door. So he was disturbed. And he said, who is at the door? And the fellow said, may Allah curse him who believes that he is a God, does not know who is at the door. Open up, I am your guru. Shaitan himself entered. He said, who are you? He said, I am responsible for everything. You sit down. Who told you to say that you are Allah? Do you know what Allah or Godhead means? Huh? I did not do sajda to Adam, but I saw Adam being created before my eyes and I have never claimed to be God. And you, who cannot do anything, you are claiming that you are God. Don't you feel ashamed? How often will you say this to Allah, that forgive me? So he said, I believe that you and I are the worst people on earth. So Shaitan said, no. There is another fellow who is worse than you and I. He said, who? He said, look, in the particular location, there is a man. In his neighborhood, there is his neighbor who has got a good cow, who produces abundant milk, more than normally expected. And this man looks at the cow and within himself is uneasy. Hi. So much milk. Such a good cow. And every day he doesn't sleep. He can't do anything. So I went to him. Shaitan says, I went to him and I told him, don't worry. Why do you spoil your days and nights? I will get you a cow like that one. You start milking and sell. And he looked at me and said, you haven't understood me. I don't want it. I don't want it to be with him. I don't care whether I have it or I don't have. I don't want him to have it. So this is hasad. where the man is actually praying that you be devastated. He doesn't want. He wants to see you perish. And you can immediately understand what happens when we start having this sort of attitude towards people, that whether I have it or we don't have, but this man must not have it. And this is what Yaqub tells him. Yusuf, do not relate this dream now to him, to them, to your brothers. فَيَكِيدُوا لَكَ كَيْدًا. They will start hatching a plot. There will be jealousy and envy. It is already there. It will be strengthened further. إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لِلْإِنسَانِ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. Shaitan is a very, very clear enemy of mankind. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.